Hi, this is Chris the Trailblazer again from NoChurchAnnie.net, and today I'd like to talk about another topic. Might give me a little bit of hot water with my Christian brothers and sisters. The topic of Christian psychology. Now, there's an oxymoron, a blending of opposites. Why do I say this? Certainly it's very prevalent in the church. People that do pastoral counseling, etc., often will consider themselves to more or less be Christian psychologists. Now, the reason I say that it's a blending of opposites, an oxymoron, is because if you look at psychology, psychology is basically based on the works of 4 or 5 men, depending on who you want to read. You have, of course, Freud, Jung, Adler, Maslow, Skinner, throw in a couple others if you like. All these men, at best, were atheists. At worst, they were involved in the occult. Jung, for instance, got many of his theories from divination and was consorting with mediums and spirits. Psychology, in and of itself, has several presuppositions, materialistic ones at that. So it's basically that which isn't laced with the occult is atheistic in its origin. So it doesn't come as a surprise that they teach values which are very different than Christianity. And what are these values? Well, basically that there aren't any values, that you make up your own morality, but it's okay to be self-centered. In fact, you should be self-centered. You are not your brother's keeper in psychology. So basically the whole Christian worldview is almost pathological to secular psychology. Now, of course, people will say, well, I'm a Christian too, and I'm taking bits and pieces from the psychology, etc., and because the Bible doesn't cover everything. Well, the Bible might not cover everything, but psychology misses the whole point about human problems, human suffering. Human suffering is not just some irrational psychological phenomenon. It's there more often than not because of the effects of sin. If you look at somebody that's in depression, sometimes, it could just be life's gotten them down, etc. Or it could be that they have sin in their life and they are suffering because of this. And that's not always a bad thing. Today we always like to say, who everybody should be happy, and who wants to suffer. But in previous generations, suffering was understood as being necessary for the unbeliever to come to Christ and for the believer to be greater sanctified, to become closer to Christ. So I ask any of you who are, involved in psychology to any degree to go ahead and take a look at the doctrines, compare them to Scripture, and see if they can be reconciled. I think you'll find that they're basically 2 very disparate disciplines. And any feedback that you have, you can reach me through NoChurchAnnie.net. One disclaimer I'd have is I believe there is a small minority of people who are biochemically imbalanced and need medication, etc. But that's not really, that's getting into psychiatry, and that's not really what psychology is all about. So I pray you all have a blessed day. Thank you.